So the situation going on in Chicago, which has now led to postponement of games, does that have you on higher alert with COVID protocol?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and just the news in general, with the mutation, the new variant that's out there. So we're going to make sure we address that. We got a long trip ahead of us, and we'll definitely address the team about that. Make sure everybody's doing their best to stay safe.
I asked Steph this and asked Lloyd Pierce. Could I ask you as well? When it comes to Steph, people say like he has this gift for shooting the ball, but he works extremely hard. So how do you view the gift versus the work that he's put in to become what everyone knows he's become with great shooter?
Yeah, it's a combination. There's definitely a natural gift just from he's an amazing shooter. Mom, great athlete in her own right. So a lot of gifts, but a work ethic that was born out of not being a McDonald's All-American and not being, a freak of nature. He was, basically unrecruited out of high school. So he had to work for everything. And I think, that along with, just a really solid upbringing. He learned the value of hard work. And when you combine that type of work ethic with God-given talent, it's pretty potent stuff.
Steve, since you all got Andrew last year, how have you seen his off-ball cutting and his movement improve since he's been in your system?
I think he got much more comfortable last year. His first full season with us, with the way we play and the way Steph and Draymond play. It's very unique. So he got used to that. And, like everybody who comes here, it is a learning experience. It takes a little bit of time, but he picked it up pretty quickly and had a great season for us a year ago. I think this is the best he's played since he's been here at both ends. Been fantastic defensively night after night. And the biggest change I see from him offensively is not the cutting, not the movement. It's just catch and shoot, and I think the ability to just catch and shoot is really key in a motion offense. You're trying to keep the ball moving and you're trying to free up guys for open shots. And if you're open, you just shoot it. As soon as the ball stops and people go into their dribble moves, the game kind of stops. And I think that's an area where Andrew has made dramatic improvement. I haven't really looked at the numbers, but it feels like he's just in a much more comfortable place when he's just, catching and shooting and keeping the offense going.
Steve, you played against Reggie Miller when you were a player yourself. Now this is the building where you played. Steph has a chance to break the record. What kind of similarities do you see in there? The way to get open and shoot the three, and what do you think of Reggie as a player and Steph's chance to do it in his home state?
I think what makes Steph unique is his ability to play like Reggie off the ball, but to play way better than Reggie did on the ball. I'm saying that because I love Reggie and he's a good friend of mine, and I hope he's listening. And he would admit to you that that's actually true. There's never been anybody like Steph who has that combination of on and off ball brilliance. Reggie was one of very few at the time when he played. Rip Hamilton comes to mind. I'm sure there are a few others I'm missing, but the ability to race off screens and turn it into a marathon and just outlast his opponent by being in better shape, by just outwilling him in his ability to get open. Steph's got that same work ethic and willingness to get open no matter what it takes. But then if you want to put him in pick and roll, he can find a way to get himself open, get going in either direction, pull up from three. It's really a remarkable combination. Make sure you get that quote to Reggie too.
have any specific memories of Reggie Miller without the ball and sort of stories of him doing that?
Yeah, my maybe my favorite was Reggie. I chased Reggie off a screen in Chicago, game tied, and he hit a three, as I flailed away trying to challenge it, and he made the shot, and then he took a bow to the crowd in Chicago. David, you remember this one, right? I think the next night, if I'm not mistaken, or the next game, Tony Kukoc hit a game-winning three here at Market Square, and Tony took a bow, and so it was kind of a nice little exchange. But yeah, Reggie was that was one of them. The other one was in the '98 playoffs when he hit the game winner when he came off that screen. Blatantly shoved off on Michael and made the buzzer beater to win the game, which was just insane. Michael couldn't get a call back then. It just always on the short end of the stick. So,
Steve, you were a great 3-point shooter. I mean, what does it take to do what you did, what Steph did, as consistently as you guys have done it?
Well, what I did was just shoot when I was open. That's what makes what Steph does so remarkable. So, he shoots even when he's not open because he can create the opening, and all it takes is a sliver of daylight. And he can shoot even if you put the best defender on the floor on him and have him just hound him the entire game. It's happening every single night. He's the focal point of the defense's game plan. So it's amazing that he's able to get a shot off and to shoot it at such a high level. He also shoots every half court shot, whatever his shooting percentage is for his career. You got to factor in that he's probably, I don't know, what do you think, Raymond? 10 for 250 or something? Yeah. I made that up and Raymond backed me up. I appreciate that. That was a total stab in the dark. But very few players are willing to shoot that shot. I know I wasn't, in the playoffs is one thing, you absolutely shoot it, but you don't really have a chance. It's a regular season. You're kind of worried about your percentage. You've seen it. Guys take that extra half second. They don't want to, lower shooting. Steph takes every single one. So he is part showman. He is full-time, fearless shot taker, shot maker. And it seems like, anytime you doubt him when he goes into a little slump and you think, oh man, he's in a rut. That's when he goes and hits about 10 in a row, and he does that over and over again. So I'm just a remarkably confident guy.
Kind of piggyback off that, what is it like to be around a person who imagines he can do anything? He was telling us today, like, if you can actually go on 16, he wasn't going to say he couldn't do it. He's never going to say he can't do it. So to have that imagination combined with the skill, the elite level of shooting, what is it like to be around every day when he's just thinking he can do literally anything?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, just to feel that confidence, but incredible superpowers, and he does things nobody's ever done before. So great qualities for a team leader, somebody who is going to lead the charge for a team, but also somebody that kids and parents look to as a role model. So pretty remarkable human being.
You guys are playing some of the best defense in the league right now, especially with your zone man flexibility. What are some of the influences coaching-wise on your defensive schemes?
Well, Mike, we turned the defense over to Mike Brown this year. We've had great defenses for about a decade here, since before I got here, which goes back to a lot of talented players. Andrew Bogut being one, Draymond, obviously the arrival of Draymond, the trade for Andre Iguodala. You could kind of go through these milestones and transitions and personnel moves that all made sense from a defensive standpoint. Klay Thompson, and his evolution from being just a shooter to one of the best two-way guys in the league. So a lot of player development, a lot of guys who fit the mold that you're looking for, and then a lot of good coaching. Like I said, from before I got here to people who've been on my staff, like Ron Adams, Jaron Collins, Mike Brown. I think Mike has kind of taken what we've already done and tried to add to it, and we've tried to be a little more flexible and do a few more things, play a little bit more zone at times, but the foundation was already here, and I think this team has done a really good job of building on that foundation.
I was wondering your thoughts on Sabonis and Miles Turner and the challenge that you guys had.
The challenge that they present to us. Yeah, they're both excellent players. I coached Miles in China in the World Cup a few years ago, so he's somebody I really like off the court and admire on the court. His shot blocking, his three-point shooting, and then Sabonis is just tough. He gets in that pocket, and he's a brilliant passer, a great finisher. These guys are a really good front line together. So we've got to make sure we're taking care of the ball in there. We got to penetrate and move it. We can't expect to score over the top of them in the paint. And we're gonna have to play well. I know they've been hot lately, playing well in this building. Thank you.